Okay guys, I feel like this is well overdue, but I have had this mic forever sitting in my closet and we're gonna pop it on the camera because I feel like this audio is never great. So here's to new audio in 3, 2, 1. I had to film that so many times because I'm really bad at snapping. But how is this audio? Is it better? Is it worse? Place your bets down below for how soon I forget to put this microphone back on my camera. Hey, what's up you guys? I'm Caitlin from Leave Me Alone Plants, and today we are here with a quick plant story time on a recent plant that I nearly caused a scene over at my local Lowe's. Now, this is the plant in question. It is a cotyledon, I believe that's how it's pronounced. Now, I'll overlay a quick video of this plant close up over here. It is absolutely gorgeous. It has these beautiful pearl-like leaflets that kind of look like a mix between a donkey tail and a string of pearls or a string of tears. But what's really beautiful about them is they have this gorgeous red rim on the outside. Really just instantly fell in love with this plant. But let me tell you, there was some controversy that led up to me bringing this plant into my house. So the day started out like any other. It was the afternoon. I had just finished work and I was venturing over to my favorite local Lowe's store. Now, for once, this time it was actually not to pick up plants. I was on a very specific mission, and I was specifically only going there to pick up some shipping supplies.
The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
That's just a place that I like to go. I find that they have really good prices there. So, pro tip, if you are a plant shipper, check out Lowe's. Now, with that said, I was kind of in a rush and I wanted to be in and out, so I didn't even get a cart because I knew if I got a cart, I was going to walk around the plant section and buy everything there. So I figured I would still just take a quick browse through the plant section, but not go overboard, just only what I could carry. Which, by the way, is the method that I use when I go to Home Goods, and it doesn't really work very well. So if you have advice on how to go to a store and not buy everything and be like a responsible adult, please drop it in the comments down below. So of course it's business first, meaning we stop in the plant section. Now I started this journey in the outdoor garden section, which typically I don't find that many things that I just need to have, but I like to check just in case. Now, as I had just been walking through the doors, there was a family in front of me of a mother who I presume was out looking for plants for her landscaping or something along those lines, and then her 2 teenage sons who looked reminiscent of Justin Bieber, like circa 2011.
This is your boy Justin Bieber here.
Were grumbling the entire way into the store about how they wanted nothing to do with going to the plant section with mom at Lowe's on a Wednesday afternoon. Now, understandably so, I rolled my eyes because I can't imagine what it must be like to be somebody who doesn't pride themselves on walking through the plant section at Lowe's, but nonetheless, walk past them. But keep them in the back of your mind because they'll be important later in the story. Now, I'm walking up and down the aisles of the outdoor plant section. Really, nothing is that exciting, and then all of a sudden, in a beam of light coming from the sky, I see this plant. Now, I have never seen one of these before in my life, so I instantly, my heart started beating, I was walking faster, I was sweating a little bit, and I knew that I had to have this plant. There were 2 of them there, and as I had mentioned, I had come here specifically to get shipping supplies, which were on the other side of the store. Now, being like 2 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon, the store was not busy at all, so I made the executive call and decided that I was going to leave the plant in the aisle so that I didn't have to drag it all the way to the other side of the store just to come back and get it. I would go get my shipping supplies, and then I would come back and check out in the garden center. So fast forward me going, getting shipping supplies, of course, walking through the indoor houseplant section, stumbling across a couple things that I did, just have to have, picking those up and leaving just enough room in my hands to carry this basket. Now, once I got back out to the garden center, like some kind of Christmas miracle, of course, the place began to fill up. There were quite a few more people out there than when I had originally come in. Because of this, once again, my heart started beating, my palms started sweating. I had to get this plant before somebody else got it. Now, I started making a beeline for where I knew that this plant was, which, as chance would have it, was on the other side of the garden center. Just as I round the corner and I see this plant sitting there, who goes to pick the 2 plants that are left in the nursery up? Tweedledee and Tweedledum, the Bieber brothers, who don't even like plants. Now, in any other scenario, my heart would be warmed by the thought of teenage boys who were taking an interest in plants for the first time. However, this was not the time and place for it. I needed that plant that they had picked up. Being the logical person I was, though, I didn't panic. I know teenage boys have the attention span of probably a goldfish, so I figured it would only be seconds before they put them down. I just took a lap around the store and waited to come back. Nope, joke's on me. They were still there discussing that this was the only plant that was ever interesting to them. Go figure, yeah, because it's beautiful. At this point, I am in a full-on panic. These 2 teenage boys are about to walk out the store with these plants. Now, being the wholesome, awkward person that I am. I didn't know what to do in this situation, so I panicked and simply just stood and stared at the plants in front of me and occasionally would glance over at them, hoping that I could awkward them out of leaving. Well, they were not going to be deterred by that. Apparently being a teenager means that you are immune to awkward glares from women having quarter-life crises.
32-year-old ladies.
So with that plan not working, I just decided to keep taking laps at the store. Now, I think it's important to note that this is the Lowe's that I frequent very often, and with that said, basically all the employees there are pretty familiar with who I am. You know, the crazy plant lady who comes in and buys plants all the time.
I'm kind of a big deal.
I am convinced that at this point, they believe that I was staking out this place to rob it because I was just frantically, at an alarming rate, circling the store, waiting for these teenagers to put down the plants. At this point, I am bumping into other customers and basically doing everything but foaming at the mouth. But finally, like a sign from above, their mother calls them to the other side of the store. They need to abandon the plants. It was at this point I knew my window of opportunity was small, so I began making my way back over to where these plants were located. Now, you know how kids are these days. Well, I guess they didn't want to listen to their dear mother, and they had started to go in her direction, but were basically only 2 feet away from this plant. Well, sometimes you have to do things that you're not proud of, and I'm not necessarily proud to say, but I grabbed in right in front of them and plucked the single plant out and took it. Well, it was very clear at that point that this plant was a scarce resource. Not only 2 beaver babies also grabbed the other plant, realizing that they were potentially leaving the store without getting one of these. Suddenly, every single person that I walked past in the store, including the lady who cashed me out, expressed what an amazing plant that this was. So in the end, of course, I was able to bring this plant home. I was able to get it. I'm not sure, you guys, should I be embarrassed that I basically snuck this plant out from underneath the arms of 2 teenage boys? Let me know if you would have done something different below. However, thank God for masks because I'm somewhat embarrassed to show my identity going back into this Lowe's in the future. I know this video is a little different from what we normally do here on my channel, but if you enjoyed this quick story time, then don't forget to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button for more plant-related content, from story time to care videos, unboxings, and a much more. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.